While you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this session, we mainly practice tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation. So, mostly we practice this both meditation techniques together. And in the beginning, you tranquilize your mind, make your mind calm down and relax, and make your mind usable to analyze and observe and recognize. So when you develop tranquility meditation, as a result of tranquilized mind, one thing is you able to recognize things as it is. You recognize things as it is. So then when it comes to perception, you don't make any mistakes. But that doesn't mean you able to recognize the worldly condition or the cause and effect or the impermanent unsatisfactory nature or the selflessness within that. That's why you need the vipassana knowledge. And another benefit when you practice tranquility meditation, what is happening, your all hindrance settle down. Hindrance going to little by little disappear from the mind. So once the mind released from the hindrance, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhacha Kukkucha, Vichikicha. Kamachanda means the desires. With the self-centered mind, we have desire to find the satisfaction with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So it's going to settle down. And it slowly, the mind start to get out of it. See, mostly our conventional life bound from this. So the tranquility meditation is the method to release your mind from that. Another one is the vyapada, means the strong anger. Not sometimes in the surface level, you don't see this. But deeply, as mental formation, sometimes unsatisfaction or the anger, looking for revenge. We have certain desires inside. Maybe even it can appear as a good. But the beginning point is the revenge. So these things disappear when you practice the tranquility meditation. Tina Midda. Tina Midda means this heaviness. and the toughness in our body. So that also with the body and mind both slowly start to disappear, because then the laziness and the tiredness going to go away. And then you become completely fully 100% active person, physically and mentally both. And the other one is the restlessness, the always comparing with the self-centered mind, with the past and the future, always comparing. This is the inherent nature within us. So that also, because that is why we bound to time and space when it comes to our actions. So you get out of that. So that's mean you get out of the time and space. And vichikicha. Vichikicha means doubt, especially regarding the path that you walk through practice. Now you know, because you achieve so far through this releasing, get out of from this 5 hindrance. Now already you achieve, get out of from 4. So that way yourself, you start to have the confidence regarding the practice, and then there is no doubt. So those are the things happen according to the tranquility meditation. So once the mind get out of this 5 hindrance, that you feel more calm, relaxed, and that will help you to achieve to high mental powers, to the absorption. First, second, third, and the fourth. It's called jhana or the dhyana. So to achieve to dhyana, you have to get out of the 5 hindrance. So this all happen through the tranquility meditation. But still, even you attain to the 4th dhyana, that doesn't mean you can attain to enlightenment. So before the Buddha, there were a lot of enlightened masters that they used to attain to the 4th dhyana, but they didn't attain to the nibbana, the complete eradication of this sansara. So the vipassana is the method that introduced to recognize completely this, that whatever that we recognize, in that recognition, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and the selflessness. To recognize that is what you practice vipassana. Even that attain to the 4th dhyana, even you get out of the 5 hindrance and achieve to the dhyana or the absorption, it still, this mind exists in a certain way. So the vipassana is observing the very nature of the mind and recognizing how this mind happening. So the mind is the forerunner, mind is the chief, mind is the creator. And so the mind, this is a kind of like one way it is that difficult to explain in a certain way. The mind inside the body, body inside the mind. So when it comes to vipassana, you observe this very nature. So in the beginning, you get the help out of the body. And then as you know, in the vipassana, so we go with the 4 foundations. Contemplating the sensation, contemplating the body, and contemplating the mind, and contemplating the Dhamma, Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. So when you contemplate this, what you recognize form, feeling, sensation, formation, and recognition. So that is 5 aggregates. So this life mean 5 aggregates. In these 5 aggregates, so it is the builder. It is the 5 aggregate govern this everything, and we get the result as that 5 aggregate, 5 hindrance. So 5 hindrance is kind of like the current that take us. It's kind of like a gasoline for the vehicle. It giving the power. But the real, the mechanism of the vehicle, 5 aggregates. But to achieve to 5 aggregates, in the beginning, you have to get out of the 5 hindrance. Because without getting out of the 5 hindrance, without clearing 5 hindrance, it not allow you to access to 5 aggregates. So that's why we use the samatha meditation as a technique to get out of the 5 hindrance. It's like the samatha meditation is kind of like a key. And the 5 hindrance, it's kind of like a blockages, 5 blockages, or the doors that keep closed down you entering to 5 aggregates. So 5 hindrance, using the tranquility meditation, one by one, you open the doors. How? Tranquilizing the mind. When the mind is busy, when body busy, the mind and the body become heavy. And then that is where that 5 hindrance play the role. So the 5 hindrance is the way that the maintain this life. Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddachukkucha, Vichikicha. If you look very carefully, you will see that when you living, means somehow you have a relationship to this 5 hindrance. That is the conventional life. So if anybody get out of the 5 hindrance, that you kind of like a neutralize conventional life, but that doesn't mean it completely stop. Why? Because in dhyana level, in high mental powers, in the absorption, you can live in a place without a body, just in the mind. So it's a kind of like a Brahma realm. That's why the attaining to just releasing 5 hindrance doesn't mean you attain to enlightenment. Maybe you attain into the dhyana, but that doesn't mean you attain to enlightenment. So the vipassana is the method that really you get into deeper and observe and recognize the very nature of the life. So be very careful with the samatha meditation technique. It releases all the 5 hindrance, and if you want, you can attain to that high mental powers or the absorption. But in the vipassana, you deeply go to recognize the 5 aggregates. So the 5 aggregates mean form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. What you recognize through this? Impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. If you are able to recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the form, if you recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within feeling, if you recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within sensation, if you recognize impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the formation, and if you recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the recognition, that is where the enlightenment arises. Because that is where completely, why? Because through the tranquility meditation, you don't see the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the recognition. It's kind of like you settle down with the recognition. That's why you attain to the dhyana. But in the vipassana, you go deeper and recognize and see what is this recognition, how this is happening. Even samadhi, you get into the samadhi and you recognizing what is this. It is also condition of the mind. It is also depending on certain condition. And that is where you get out of the samadhi also. And you completely get out of that. It is not you get out. It's kind of like you completely the recognize and you recognize the recognizer and deeper mechanism. So it is a step-by-step process. But somehow, just remember, in tranquility meditation, allow your body, mind to settle down. And then when you go to vipassana and observe form, feeling, sensation, recognition, maybe you're not going to get anything, but somehow you will get one thing, maybe feeling, sensation, very easy. And then what you have to see when you recognize the feeling and observe and recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within it. You have to observe and recognize. It is just not that what you know, it is completely different. As example, somebody say 10 feet under this ground, there are diamonds. So now you know. But that knowing doesn't mean you have it, but you know something. So this teaching also kind of like a guideline for that. But you cannot use that knowledge to complete the process. So what you have to do? You have to dig the ground, and it is a process. You have to do it yourself. So then you have to find it. And when you find it, and when the diamond in your hand is completely different. But that the knowledge help you to go there. But that doesn't mean that knowledge is the diamond, no. So same like the Buddha is the one who taught us. So you can completely eradicate 5 aggregates, and you can recognize 5 hindrance. And so you can recognize the 5 hindrance, and you can recognize the 5 aggregates, and then you can attain to this. So the Buddha is the one who taught us. And then knowingly that we go ourselves, using our own body, using our own feeling, sensation, formation, using our own recognition, we have to recognize this. So that is a process. That is why when it comes to practice meditation, always remember, do your best. This is because you are your own master. So do your best, and try to not to be too hard, and don't at the same time don't be too soft. And you have to, sometimes you have to be a little bit hard on you, and at the same time you have to remember this, your body and mind is work together. There is no one from the middle going to come and do anything. So with that, in the beginning we're going to practice a little bit tranquility meditation, focusing your mind in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and follow the sensation of the inhalation exhalation. This is inhalation, this is exhalation. and follow the entire continuation then, knowingly this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. And then also you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, so warm, cold, like that. So there are 16 steps that you can go through tranquility and attain to vipassana level. But from there we stop and then we go to recognize the sensation, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the sensation. So when it comes to that sensation, you may see the same sensation here or anywhere in your body. Okay, so your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. And bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times and say Sopatveva or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and then later recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the sensation. So, in the beginning, deeply inhale, exhale 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalation, exhalation happen itself and just recognize. Just keep focus your mind to inhalation, exhalation. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. Also, you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just accept it. Focus your mind on the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within five aggregates, or the feelings, or the sensation, any recognition. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as we can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. So visualize yourself and send it as a light forward. Little by little expand the capacity to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sri Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, one time Buddha mentioned Kicho Manusa Patilabo Kichang Machana Jivita. So, becoming a human being is very rare. And if you look how many that animals in this world, and even there are millions living beings, animals that we cannot even see, we cannot recognize. Out of this all, becoming a human being is very rare. So then your life is so important. And at the same time, once you become a human being, maintaining that life without having any difficulties also very difficult. That's why, as you know, so far in this whole year that we saw how the people are struggling to protect their life. This always happening. And from the beginning of the human life to today and to the eons by eons to the future, this is the very nature of human life. So then once you become a human being, you have to remember to get the best out of this. Why? Because this is very rare. And you are so lucky and you are so fortunate and you are so blessed. And your time not going to be forever here. Even as a husband, wife, as children, as parents, brothers, sisters, as neighbors, as friends, even as a president, that we cannot be forever. But when it comes to your opportunity to do something, then you have to remember to do your best. So in the Vipassana level, that is where it takes you. to perform yourself your best according to your limits, not depending, oh, I cannot do this, or I will do that. No. According to your limits, always remember with your bodily, verbally, and mentally action to perform, do your best. If you become a human being like that, moment by moment, what will happen? Your life going to become more and more developed, inside, outside, both, conventionally, spiritually, both. But the thing is, we more get settled down with the 5 aggregates, especially the first one, Kama Chanda, the desire, sensual pleasures, to find the satisfaction with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind objects. This is the most difficult hindrance to break down. So this kind of like it is kind of like since there are sometimes people get sick and then they go to doctor and the doctor give medicine and the medicine in their hand, but they don't take it. They know they have a disease, they know they are suffering, and the solution is with them, and they know the doctor gave the medicine and now the medicine in front of them. But still, when it comes to, it is just very simple thing. When it comes to take that medicine, maybe for a day, twice a day or 3 times a day, once 1 minute, 2 minutes it take to take that medicine. After that, even you don't know that you took it or not. Just taking intake tablets or something, but still people don't do it. People don't do it. They hold it to suffering. They hold it to pain. They hold it to difficulty. So when it comes to the samsara, also same. So the Buddha's teaching, it's kind of like a medicine for this whole suffering. Even though human life is very rare, even though this life is so precious, it's not going to come alone. It comes as a package. That is the very nature of the world. There is nothing going to be alone. Any beauty, any good, any success, not going to be alone. It comes as a part of something. It is a part of a process. So then when it comes to our life also, so we come to a very, very good, important position in the samsaric journey, becoming like this human being. And at the same time, it happened the more best way that we have the Dhamma within us. So that the both opportunities come together, you become so powerful. So then this is one of the best time that you can perform yourself and get the best out of these all opportunities. Why? Because this is going to go away. This is not going to be forever. So that's why we develop this method, practicing this meditation. So the meditation itself means cultivating your mind, developing your mind. But at the same time, that cultivation, that development need to come out of your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. So otherwise it is just not a kind of like a dogma or mental idea, just keep in mind. No, you become more productive person to you and for others. When we become self-centered, we cannot do that. So there are two philosophies in life. Remember this. One is ice cream philosophy, and other one is candlelight philosophy. So ice cream philosophy is enjoy before it melt. That is ice cream philosophy. And the candlelight, shine and give light before you melt. So the candle and the ice cream both going to melt, but totally different ways. So it is your choice which path you going to take. So when you hold it to self and believing this is me, this is my, this is I am, and maybe you feel kind of like you can enjoy it, but it never going to bring any kind of satisfaction. It is just become an action, and as a part of that action, some heaviness going to come to you, but becoming like a candle light, giving a light before you vanish, before you melt, is something. So then come to a position in your life. Look at look at the people around you, your husband, your wife, your children, friends, family members, brothers, sisters, neighbors, and you have the best tools in the world: bodily action, verbal action, mental action. Look yourself, what you give out of that action, bodily action, what you do for them. And forget about enlightenment. Just imagine, when you're going to do something, what you do through your bodily action to others. Because that action itself, when you do to others, it helps you to transform yourself. Say how, when you get angry and mad and when you cook, and nowadays you can use it, the record when you angry, and record how you cook, how you walk, how you do things, record, and then look yourself later. You can do it. Then it become like a dharma, reading Tripitaka. It's going to show you something. So bodily action, it's just not about something, you mainly, killing somebody, stealing something, no, in day-to-day life, with the very little thing. Remember, when you are in enlightened path, for little action you become very careful. That is the vipassana, level of life. For little, very tiny actions, you become very careful. And the verbal action, one word can make the life heaven. Also, one word can make the life hell. So then remember, you have the power yourself within the words to make other people better. Look at the Buddha's life. Look at the Jesus, Prophet Muhammad. Look at the people. That everybody, they preach. They at that time there was no recording, and even this Buddha's teaching, all the enlightened masters, many monks in the history used to memorize and bring this as an oral practice. These all words. So that means the enlightenment is kind of like the information. If you get the right information, you can attain to enlightenment through your transformation. So the word, this information that you, when you talk, it's kind of like an information, that it has power to transform people. So the Buddha used the word, the Prophet Muhammad used the word, Jesus used the word. So then the same thing, you have the same power. So then you have to look, when you talk to somebody, the way you talk can change a lot of things. So when you come to the procession, you know, and you have to understand, and when you have ability to talk to somebody, even your husband, your wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, it is a blessing. It is an opportunity. It is a kind of like you connect to divinity. And maybe you with your husband or wife, you are together. And when you talk, add some bliss to your words. There are a lot of people sometimes, they ask, oh, Venerable Sir, no one to talk. I feel so lonely. I feel very sad about myself. Even I cannot express anything, no one around me. There are people. So then yourself, when you have children, remember they're going to become elders one day. So whatever that you talk to them, they nourish through that words. So then it is an opportunity for you. It is a responsibility for you to talk nice things to your neighbors. See, sometimes, we are moving people, that whoever the neighbors, then sometimes you had your friends and your neighbors, you left somewhere and then you come to a new place. So how about at that time what you talk with other people? So then yourself, you have to understand this moment is an opportunity for you. It doesn't matter who you are, wherever you are. Even for a beggar, when you going to beg, the way you talk going to change. Maybe you can become from beggar and you turn your life to become a millionaire. There are some beggars, they are professionally the beggars, and they know how to beg. Why? Because they know how to talk to others. And they know how to properly ask from others, especially when you ask from others. You cannot be so arrogant. You cannot do ask from, macho level. People are not going to give. So then yourself, you have to know. When you have opportunity to talk, remember, that is the moment you connect to divinity. It is the divine power, not anything, not the physical power, the word. So in the ancient time, when you look at the human history, and people cannot talk the certain words. If you talk that words, oh, they kill you. Why? Because it is very sacred. And the wisdom and everything, then you sometimes when it comes to life, the most that the dangerous thing with the ignorance, they not allow you to talk. So then when you have opportunity to talk, remember, so make your word, you know, the best word and make it so sweet as much as you can, and make it better than the honey, you know. So that is something. That is a kind of, they see, for the Buddha, for the enlightened master, people like to go and talk. People like to listen. Not only the people, animal like to listen. How powerful it is. So then yourself, when you talk, remember, you have to think and you have to work with it. Anywhere, at your workplace, with your, anybody. And remember, the word is the power that activate your divinity. And the other thing is the most powerful thing, the mind. So the thoughts, when you have thoughts, it is so personal. But at the same time, you remember, never put any garbage to your head by thinking unnecessary things. You're going to, so what you think, you become. So then out of the bodily action, verbal action, the mental action is the most powerful action. So then always be mindful and be careful. So whatever you do, whatever you talk, but when it comes to the mind, so 100% be very clear. So zero tolerance for ignorance or the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Zero tolerance. No chance. Keep that discipline in you. When it comes to your mind, you don't think garbage. It doesn't matter whatever happen. It keep it outside. It doesn't matter in day-to-day life. Things go up and down, situations come, problems come, but that doesn't mean you have to take it to your head. That doesn't mean you have to always keep thinking about it. Few years ago, something happened. It happened there. If you keep thinking, what will happen? You're living with it. So something happened somewhere. That doesn't mean you have to live with it every day. So if you start to think, what will happen? You're going to live with it. That is what mostly we do. When that animal doesn't have that ability. Animal doesn't keep remember and live with the situations. And in that way, we are worse than animal. Why? Because when something happens, we memorize it. We hold it today and then keep thinking. And then we live with it. We sleep with it. We wake up with it. We eat with that. So then what is life? So when it comes to meditation means mental culture. So then you have to develop a life, mental culture, lifestyle, not to repeat mentally that whatever happened in your life. Just always keep newness, freshness. That is the power of vipassana. In day-to-day life, so whatever happened, in the very next moment, you become completely new, fresh, and you move forward. And that way you become very clear, and then you're able to recognize necessary conditions, and then You can see the solutions, and that will slowly, deeply develop. It, it develop the roots inside you how to maintain your life. So you just practice samatha vipassana, and then for a few minutes every day, and then but when it go to ordinary life, you just keep all the garbage in your head and talk all the unnecessary things to others and do very rush and very heavy things to other people. What's the point? No, it is the development of the your character. So then always remember, if you make mistake, it is okay. You recover from it, but don't repeat it again and again and again. You recognize you have done, no, so then move forward and don't do it again. If it is happened again, recover from it. If 100 times happen, if you make 100 mistakes, try 100 one time, you're going to get out of it. So that's how you have to develop this path. So when you go in this way, what will happen now? Your bodily action, verbal action, mental action become very careful, and then at the same time you slowly get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion from your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. And then you add the loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and wisdom to your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. When you are able to act like that way with anything in day-to-day life, with anything, what will happen? The very first thing happen, you are physically, mentally going to be comfortable. That is the very first thing happen. Physically, mentally, you're going to feel comfortable. It called kaya passaddhi and what chitta passaddhi. Physically, mentally, you feel comfortable. Your bodily, verbally, mentally actions get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion and develop with the loving kindness, generosity, and compassion and the wisdom. As a result of that, in that very moment, you feel kaya passaddhi, chitta passaddhi. That means you feel comfortable. And then the next one, kaya lahuta and the chitta lahuta. So that means you feel so relaxed. So you feel comfortable. And the next thing, when the mind get out, your bodily, verbally, and mentally action, get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, you feel so relaxed. You become so soft. And then the next one, you become so mellow that all the roughness going to disappear. Your bodily, you physically and mentally both, you become so mellow. And the next one, at the same time, you're going to become so straight. It is not go everywhere. You are physically, you become more comfortable, and at the same time, mentally, you become so straight. So whatever you see, whatever you hear, and even physically, when you look something, you look directly. When you hear something, the physically you able to focus to that, and the if if any smell, you directly you able to get it. And see, sometimes when there is a smell come, sometimes you live with it and very difficult to find from where it come. And so that's mean you become very straight with the physical action. And the when you eat, you are physically, you be with it. You no need to song, you no need music from the background, you no need any nice place to eat. So like that, you directly focus to that action. When the body mind become more comfortable, relaxed, soft, So like that way. And the physically also, in according to any place, you able to maintain your body. When it heat, you able to maintain with. If it is cold, you able to go with it. You not feel uncomfortable. You not detached from the environment. So the mind also gain that, the same ability. And that and as a result of that, what will happen? Your bodily, your mind both become 100% active, and that is where your all the skills going to come. That is where you become a productive person. So that's how it take you to the complete level of that development with your body and mind to vipassana level. So in the beginning, it become more relaxed and soft and mellow, and at the same time it become more comfortable with the environment, and then you feel the more joy. So the physical, mental, both, and then and all the skills, you become more productive person, and all the skills going to come out of you. So that happen when your mind get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion through your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. So then reverse the other thing. If you are developed with the greed, hatred, and the delusion, what will happen? As a result of that, your body become heavy. And your mind also become heavy. And it become heavy, it become tough. And your physically become very tough. And you cannot move. And all the joint tight, muscles tight. And the mind also become like that. Very hard person. Cannot change anything. If something asks, that it's like a demon, you have to give it. There is no negotiate. Now I want this. Then you are some, it doesn't matter. Somehow you have to bring it. Even it maybe the show the stars and ask, I want that star, and you cannot explain, hey, I cannot go there and get it. No. Somehow you have to bring that. That there are some people like that. Mentally so tight, no flexibility, cannot have a conversation, cannot change thing. No. So you have to become so mellow with the mind, with the body. See, when the greed, hatred, and the delusion happen, that is what the happen. You become so tough person. So that's why, see, like in a sports, one of the major thing, it doesn't matter whatever the sports, the one of the important thing is you have to keep relax your body. Then what will happen? Your performance going to become good. So when it comes to physical, at the same time, it is just not the physical. When you become comfortable and when you become relaxed physically, your mind also become relaxed, and that is where you become more productive person. See, when you are get angry, mad, disappointed, worry, what happening to your all skills? It's all go away. Your productivity kill. You just become a dumb human being. So that's why through the practice of the the good way that develop the loving kindness, compassion, generosity, wisdom in your mind, with your bodily, verbally, and mentally actions, this is the way it going to come to you. And you feel your body, mind feel so comfortable, so relaxed, and then you feel more soft. And then you become more skillful person. And that skillfulness give the activation to body and mind 100% together. So see, in samatha, as I mention every day, your body, breathing, your mind come together when it come to tranquility state. Another thing is in five aggregates, kama, chanda, vyapada, thinamidda. When it come to thinamidda level, that all the toughness, heaviness disappear. See, the same circle, the same thing happening. And this is the way this the body and mind how this work. So then always remember it is your responsibility to keep your bodily action, verbal action, mental action with the loving kindness, generosity, compassion, and the wisdom in that path. If you go other way, it is your choice, and it is a process, and you have to go through some process to experience it. So it is up to you. So in day-to-day life, try yourself, and don't depend on others because no one can do anything to you. And everybody now watching that's about the new president, whoever come, your life end of the day you have to close your eyes yourself within your heart, and whatever you accumulate it going to be with you. Just changing a person, if we believe oh things going to change, it's not going to happen. Why? Because every 4 years this keep happening. But it when it come to the end of the day, it is who we are. So then remember yourself, it is not about outside world, and look yourself and protect your life with this loving kindness, generosity, and compassion and wisdom. Even you go to hell, you're going to have a good time. If you don't have that, even you go to heaven, you make that heaven as a hell. So sometimes with our life in this human life, as I mentioned, this is the beautiful place for us. So if you govern your bodily, verbally, and mentally action with loving kindness, generosity, compassion, wisdom, you become like an angel to other people. But if you govern your bodily, verbally, and mentally action with greed, hatred, and the delusion, you become a demon to these other people around you. So this is your choice. It is nothing to do with anybody. So then remember, and practicing meditation means cultivating mind, means cultivating life, means it is just not closing your eyes and sitting in one place. We just only practice point of view, we do that. But in day-to-day life, you have to practice and become real vipassana practitioner. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idhamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.